Pretty happy with the paint job. Came out good. The original cleats were either painted or powder coated black, and a good percentage of that had chipped off. This time round they're getting painted silver. The original rubbing strip is held on with this anodized aluminium extrusion. The bend around the bow is an acceptable radius, but the aft corners look horrible, and the anodizing is scratched and worn. The solution I have come up with is to replace with an almost identical profile PVC rubbing strip by Vetus. The aft corners are still too tight to bend round, but the bow is just right for the tightest radius. There were multiple colour options for the insert, so we went with blue. Fitting will be a two-man job, I suspect. Alrighty, time to put the engine room back together, starting with the drain. The tube has been cut flush and the fitting sealed in place. Next up is the gimbal housing. First, we fit the stainless steel studs we made to replace the heavily corroded steel ones. And then we'll fit up with a new gasket. And torque to the appropriate torque. This is the extra reinforcing bar that has been added for more strength, but I'm not happy because the weight distribution, it's too much weight sitting on the back on these. So I'm still going to use them for alignment, but under here we're going to be making a new mount that fits where the original factory mount would go. So it'll be supported by 4 135 kg engine mounts. So I don't think it's going anywhere, but I do think it's going to spread the load better, more evenly on the engine. A few hours later, we have crafted a rear engine mount and new brackets to hold the rubber mounts. Because the transom has been redone, the position of the gimbal housing is not exactly the same in relation to the front engine mounts. So using the original alignment technique that we used in one of the first episodes, the front mounts are realigned so we know exactly where to fit the brackets for the rear mounts. More setbacks. Bummer. The quality of this engine coupler is substandard. 40 grams out of balance. I think we have a solution. Well, I was just about to fasten this down, and then I saw it looking like the paint was flaking, so I gave it a little wire brush, thinking I'd just paint it, but I don't think so. I think it's quicker for me just to make another one than it is to prep and paint it, and then potentially have all this. Even if I put phosphoric acid on it, it'll probably come back to haunt me. Rust stains and so. For the most part, I'm using photos I took to help refit all the components. The transom is new, so there are no holes for the clips and brackets to go, and some of the holes above and on the engine room bulkhead were filled in with paint and in some cases resin. But I also think I was able to slightly clean up some of the wiring while it was out of the boat, so slightly cleaner install. To straighten the PVC rubbing strip down the side, we've inserted a 5/8 tube and left it in the sun. Time for a test fit. Gonna try and get the end caps for this. I couldn't take it anymore. Although I've had the heavy duty coupler balanced and it was out by 40 grams, the drive spline is still crooked. So at high RPMs it's likely to completely destroy the gimbal bearing. So I've bought Marine Design Corporation's high performance coupler. The mounting plate and housing are CNC machined from billet aluminium. The spline is chromoly steel and true, and it uses polyurethane as the cushion, which I think is a much better choice. Yeah, I can see from here that I'm going to need to rotate the heat exchanger on the bottom to line up so the hose is more direct, and that hose there it'll line that up better as well. So close. So close.